All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. The stars appeared to be aligning for the Golden State Warriors over the second half of the season and into the NBA playoffs. And this right there came on the heels of that Jimmy Butler trade. But of course, for Golden State, it all came crashing down in the Western Conference semis against the Minnesota Timberwolves. At the end of the day, there's no way around it. That hamstring injury to Steph Curry all but ended Golden State's season. We saw, Golden State be able to win game one. That was a game where Curry went out. They won that game 99 to 88, but after that, that was it. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, to their credit, they took advantage of the Curryless Warriors because nobody for Golden State was able to step up in his absence. And for me, it's one of those getting Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline was nice. It was big for them. But you can clearly see Steph Curry is clearly still the guy that stirs the pot for Golden State, which was key for this series. And I mean, you look at the Warriors, they came down the stretch. They had an opportunity to avoid the play-in tournament. They lost to the Clippers on the last game of the season, had to go through the play-in tournament, had themselves a grueling series with the Houston Rockets in round number one. Of course, the Rockets were the two seed, even though everything was so mashed together in the Western Conference for what it was. And simply, we don't know what could have been for the Warriors, but at the end of the day, they lost. There's no other way to slice it. So the summer has begun for Golden State, and of course, they're going to ask themselves, what can they do to get better? And for the Golden State Warriors, they're led by their veterans, and I'm talking about Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. All of these guys are in their mid to late 30s, and you have to ask yourself, can the Warriors still make a run at the NBA championship? I believe so. I mean, you look at it, Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy, they're all under contract for the next couple of years. Steph Curry is still playing at a high level. Jimmy Butler can still play at a high level, and Draymond Green is still important for what the Golden State Warriors are looking to do. It's just going to come down to the players that they are going to put around Steph Curry and company as they try to keep this championship window open. You still got Buddy Hield under contract for a couple of years. Buddy Hield, he's a three-point shooter, but he's a streaky three-point shooter. When he gets in the zone, he gets in the zone. But when he's off, he's definitely off. There's going to be questions this offseason as far as Jonathan Kuminga. Is he going to be back with the Golden State Warriors? Is Gary Payton is the second going to be back as he's a free agent? Kevon Looney as well. He hasn't put up the rebounding numbers like he did in previous years, but nonetheless, do the Warriors want him back? We've got to wait and see. I look at it like this. You can still play around with things with this roster, and they're going to have to do that because they don't have a first round pick this year. It goes to Miami courtesy of the Jimmy Butler trade, but it's going to put the onus on general manager Mike Dunleavy and company to try to go out there and keep things alive. I think Golden State can. All right, as of right now, there's a lot that's going to be on the table for a lot of teams around the NBA this summer. There's a lot of expected player movement, and that has to do with this luxury tax apron that a lot of teams are looking to get from under. So let's see where the Golden State Warriors fall into that dynamic. But nonetheless, it is what it is. The Warriors were an injured team, and I'm not making excuses for them. Okay, I expected that series with the Timberwolves to go seven, but clearly the dynamic changed once Steph Curry went out. But nonetheless, uh, when the playoffs began, there was some promise, and there's plenty of promise for the Golden State Warriors because I felt in my opinion, with the three-point shooting of Steph Curry throughout his career, and what we have seen, especially during Jimmy Butler's time with the Miami Heat, as far as you know how he took it to another level in the postseason, that it was going to work out for the Warriors. that wasn't the case. Want to see how they look going into next season. All three, Draymond, Steph, and Jimmy Butler, healthy. And then on top of that, they'll get a training camp, all of them together, and let's see what additional players are going to be on this roster for next season. But like I said, the championship window, in my opinion, is still open for the Golden State Warriors if they approach things properly. So let's see how the summer works out in the Bay Area. But folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for checking out the 300 pounds of sports knowledge here on YouTube. And as always, if you like what you heard and saw, please feel free to hit that like button as well as subscribing to this channel. Like I always say, it is greatly appreciated. Also, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 pounds of sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. Also, just like it is for the X, you can check me out on Instagram at 300 pounds of sports knowledge. Give me that follow. I'll give you that follow right back. But until next time, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care. And thanks once again for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.